Hi everyone, Katie here with you today to do a short tutorial on how to color a leopard pattern. I'm going to be using Copic markers, but I think that this technique would work with any medium, so I encourage you to give it a try. Let's get right into it. I've colored up most of May from the Fall Friends Clear set from Some Odd Girl, and I'm going to be doing this on her jacket. So to start out, I'm just going to be doing a basic kind of tan caramel color. You can see I pulled in a bit of the blue from her pants there, but that's okay because I think I'm going to just come in here with my colorless blender, wash it out just a bit, and then I'll just put one of my little patterns over the top of that. So I'm using E30 to put in this initial layer of my lights. I'm leaving some white there where I want my absolute highlights. I'm going to come in with E31 and put in just a bit over the top of what I already put down. Kind of darken this up a little bit. And lastly, I'm going to come in with my E33. And I'm not going to go as far in as I did with my other colors. I'm using these shades of E because usually leopard is a kind of a warm caramel kind of color. So that's why I picked these ones specifically. Shading there around the buttons. And I'm going to come in with my E30 again, and I'm just going to go over the top of all of this. Blend it out a bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and go over my white areas. And you can see that I'm going over the buttons, and that's because I'm going to make them a darker shade at the end of this anyway, so I'm really not too worried about them right now. And I really like to build up my shading, so I'm going to come in with some E42, which is going to be a little bit duller of a color. Gives a little bit of added dimension there. Than what I currently have. And to finish that out, I'm going to actually come in with some E43 as well, just to really kind of darken up some of those shadowed areas. I'm not going to do too much because I don't want to make the coat too much darker than it already is. And then I'm going to come in with my E31 one last time, go kind of over the top of those. Warm it back up just a bit. And then finally my E30 one last time, just to make sure got a really good blend there. Alright. So now that I'm pretty happy with where the jacket is now, come back in here again. Now it's time that I can start actually putting in my pattern. The great thing about leopard print, somewhat foolproof. It's kind of messy to begin with, so that means you don't have to be super exact, which is awesome. At least I think so, because you can't really screw it up. So I'm going to take now E47, and I'm actually going to use the chisel tip. And what I'm going to do is create some, I guess, kind of a C or a kidney shape, and then some dots. And because this is a small area, I'm going to want to make my pattern not super huge so that it's not overpowering. I can get more on there. So I'm probably going to tilt my chisel tip and kind of use the edge of it to do this. And it really is just a free form. Kind of make sure that it's not too exact. So if you're doing some of your C shapes or kidney shapes kind of swooping to the left, then you'll do some that kind of go to the right to break that up a bit, and throw those dots in there. Kind of irregular, they don't have to be exact. That's the lovely thing about this. And don't forget to get on your sleeve. You can go right up to the edge because patterns are going to be going around the edge of the clothes, whether it's around to the back side or whether it's around to the front of the seam. Get right in there among your buttons. And then you're going to have some come in. What I would be careful to do is to not carry something from this part of the jacket on over to this part of the jacket, because they're going to be two separate pieces of the fabric. So they're not going to match up exactly. You can make them, it's just going to not look as natural, which isn't really a huge deal. So now that I have my dots all in there with my E47, now I'm going to come in with my black, my 100. You can use any darker color. I just have been messing around with this, and I noticed that black is the one that gets me the results that I like the best. And you're just going to come around the edges. I'm going to go ahead and use the chisel tip this time. And you're going to put some very free-form edges around the little shapes you made. So again, it's not going to be super exact. You're just going to kind of outline. And the best part for me that I really like is that they don't have to touch. So you really can not worry too much about your shape. If you wanted to, if you really cared about the shape of them and you wanted them to look really, really true to form, you could go and look at actual patterns of fabrics. The other thing you can do is make some of the edges heavier lined than the others. Some a little lighter. See my blue that was in there, you can't really see anymore. Gotta love the magic of markers, right? You can fix most anything. Even if you just paper piece over the top of it, which I am not ashamed to say I have done more than once. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Make sure I haven't missed any. Nope. So that is actually the finished product. So now she's wearing a leopard print jacket. I hope that this was helpful and you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll try it out and maybe share some of what you come up with us in the Some Odd Girl Ning Gallery. The links to that are going to be in the description below. Thanks so much. Bye.